This is not going to be your usual Black Ops 7 channel. It's not going to be your usual video game streaming channel either. You see, I'm not really that great at playing video games. I've been in the video games industry since the summer of 1982, when my mum bought me an Atari 400 and I learned to program it. I've been making games or helping other people make games since then. At some point along the way, I stopped loving video games. That is to say, there's not much about video games that I liked at all. That kind of happens in any relationship. But I didn't realize how important a piece of my life was missing until those times when reconnecting seemed to make a huge difference. I returned to development after a decade at PlayStation from 2005 to 2015 and thought that I had some really innovative ideas. What I didn't realize is that while at PlayStation, while I intimately understood the needs of video game developers and their obstacles and their needs, what I realized last year when I started playing Black Ops 6 Zombies was that I didn't understand video games anymore. I didn't understand the player. I didn't understand what appealed to them and why they stuck around. I'm afraid that I did feel a sense of shame about that, but I'm also very happy to report that having spent a year playing Black Ops 6 Zombies, which at first I found utterly impenetrable, by the way, I now understand the player to a degree I don't think I've understood in a long time. So this isn't for you players who want to learn how to get better at Black Ops 7 Zombies. For that, I would recommend channels like Nova Zenith, Hypnostic, Earl Shatter. I'm going to talk to two different audiences. The first audience is those players who want to hear about how difficult video games are to make, what the challenges are for developers, why they're not lazy devs, the accusation which is frequently hurled at them, and what their priorities are. And the other audience I want to speak to are those people who, like myself, either lost touch with games or those people who never really connected with games in the first place and don't understand the language, the primary language that their children speak nowadays. I don't think it's ever a bad thing to understand what your children are talking about. If you want a good relationship with your kids, you've got to understand their language. And what they're talking about, that is video games, is not frivolous. It's not trivial. Bear in mind, we took away their playgrounds. We wrapped them up in cotton wool. We put guardrails around their time, their access, and we put them in front of screens. What did we think was going to happen? Now they're in this world that we feel somewhat disconnected to, and I'm guilty of this too, by the way. My kids were playing Fortnite and I didn't understand what they were talking about, and I thought, this is not right. And so I started playing Black Ops 6, and I'm very pleased to say that this has improved my communication skills with my kids, which I thought were okay, but I was a fuddy-duddy dad. And now I can speak their language, understand their language, and use metaphors that kids use. But it's not just kids. We should never stop playing. As for me, I'm not going to stop playing either. Right, here we are on the farm, playing survival mode.
Home, but don't get too comfortable.
My first job is to clear this infestation of orange stuff off the pump. But before I do that, I want to make sure I'm reasonably secure by getting rid of the majority of these zombies here, otherwise I'm going to be overwhelmed. And the reason I'm using a melee weapon instead of my gun is because you get more points that way. And points, as you know, make prizes. Right, let's switch to our main weapon now. Let's start clearing this infestation. This is going to drag all manner of zombies out of the woodwork because they don't want the infestation cleared, because that means it'll be easier for me to dispense with them. But I'm sorry, I'm in a rush, zombies, so as needs must. Oh dear, my aim is atrocious. Ah, that was almost extremely embarrassing. So I've taken care of the infestation now, and my next task is to flip the power switch. You can see the objectives in the middle left near the mini-map. So we've got them all in this bunch here. They're not moving too quickly. They're red, by the way, because my eyesight is atrocious for reasons I'm not going to go into. Let's take care of some of these. For every one of these zombies that you kill, depending on how you kill them. Actually, am I killing them? They're kind of dead already, right? So let's say for every one of these zombies that we dispense with, we get essence. Essence is Black Ops zombies parlance for points, and they're indicated in the yellow figure with a fake $sign at the bottom left of the screen. You can see I've got, well, I did have 2,385, I think it was, and I spent some of that hard-earned essence in opening a door. Something that you do quite a lot of in zombies is open doors. Now I don't want to be trapped in this confined area for too long, so I'm going to beat a hasty retreat out of that window, which is quite useful. And let's start taking care of these. You get more points for headshots, so if your aim is up to it, then do go for the head. It's really important that you know the map, and this is quite a small map. It's a survival map, so it's not difficult to learn, but you need to know where the obstacles are, because if you start running backwards and get trapped somewhere, that's going to be quite painful, right? So now I'm kind of stuck against that, whatever that is. Hay bale. Right, let's start taking care of these forsaken individuals. Managing your ammo is really important, so don't get caught out with a low ammo count when you're right in front of a whole bunch of them. One left. Dispensed with. So it's 115 points for a shot, as you can see there in the center of the screen. But if I now switch to a melee weapon and go for the head, it's not as easy as it looks. You can see I got 150. Now, as we know, points make prizes, so I want to accumulate as many points as possible so I can upgrade my weapon, because these zombies, while they're weak now, are going to become stronger round by round. I'm taking my time. There's no need to rush. Of course, that will come later. But for now, I want you to pay attention to the white bar with lines running through it. Just above. That's my health. That's really important. And just above that is a tiny blue bar. That's my armor. And I've just replated some of that. You can pick up armor from time to time. Very useful. It protects you from the most ill effects of zombie attacks. One of the things that kids get an almost intuitive understanding of very quickly is economy. You wouldn't think that a video game can teach you about economics, but they have to juggle resources and they have to make trade-offs, just like balancing a budget. And they have to decide things like do I want to upgrade my weapon, which will be really cool, or do I want to make do with what I have for now, because it means I'll have more in the long run? You see where this is going? Now, you and I might understand this intuitively, but they don't always teach this stuff at schools, and they certainly don't teach it in such a fun way, right? I can't think of a more fun way to learn economics than playing Black Ops 7 Zombies. Of course, this isn't for kids, I hasten to add. This is for grown-ups. But your kids will be playing similar games, like Fortnite, where the violence is not nearly as dramatic. It's much more cartoonish. But the principles are the same. You'll hear them talking about rare weapons, epic weapons, legendary weapons, and even mythic weapons, which I just learned about. Now I have over 5,000 essence. I'm going to go to this machine, the Pack-a-Punch machine. I'm going to level up my weapon. This immediately increases its power. It increases the magazine size and also increases the reserve. I'm now faced with a special round where I face the most horrible creatures you could imagine. They're called Ravagers, and they run very fast and bite your ankles if you're not careful. Not fun to deal with. That wasn't too difficult. They get harder and harder as the rounds progress. That's where we'll end it for now. In the next video, what we'll do is cover how salvage is used and how it's changed from Black Ops 6, and explain how that relates to the rest of the economy. And we'll also cover some of the perks in the game. Oh, perks. You want to know what perks are? Well, let's go and have a look at the machine, shall we? That won't take long. I need to open this door. Remember, doors cost money, so I just had to pay a large sum of money. Oh, hello zombies. Goodbye. Can you leave me alone? I've got an audience to entertain. Okay, so this is the Wonder Fizz. The Wonder Fizz contains all manner of perks that upgrade your abilities significantly. I have no idea why the zombies started running away from me, but I was pretty grateful. That was good. Okay, so they're almost taken care of, but I need to keep an eye on my health. Can you see my health has dropped significantly? And I need to make sure I don't die. And to that end, I'll explain the first perk. If I interact with this, I can buy Juggernog. Now, if you have a look at my health bar, it's increasing. So now I've got a lot more health, which means I can take more damage, and it increases my odds of survival. That's it for now. Let's catch up again soon. Let me know what you'd like me to focus on and what you'd like me to avoid. Bye for now, and do check out those other channels if you want to get really good at the game.